Transformers of Eternia.
Hi guys, you're watching Transformers of Eternia. So today I wanted to talk about this Reactivate, I guess, double set that comes with Optimus Prime. But this is Soundwave, the other part of that set. I talked about the Optimus Prime already, and now I'd like to talk about this Soundwave. That's basic. I think it's basically a Voyager, if I'm correct. But anyway, it's pretty decent size, and the Optimus Prime is pretty cool looking actually for this set. So I figured I better talk about the counterpart to Optimus Prime in this set, which is kind of weird that it's not Megatron. But before I do that, I want you to hit that subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy what I'm doing here. It really helps out my channel, and I'm trying to get this thing to grow. Okay, so here's an image of Soundwave from the video game, Reactivate video game, or Rise, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, and this is the image of him from the video game standing next to his counterpart, the actual toy version. I think the image from the video game looks freaking awesome. But the toy version is a little skimpy in some spots. It looks a little slim with the arms, especially at different angles. But it looks pretty much like it anyway. I think there could have been a little bit more paint, like silver on his upper legs or whatever, and a couple more spots here and there. But for the most part, this looks about accurate, and that's kind of cool. So anyway, that's what I think of the robot mode for this video game version, I guess. I don't know what it would be like in the game, or how much he appears in the game, or if you can actually play as him in the game, which I kind of wish you could. I always liked video games where you can actually play as the Transformer, like the War for Cybertron, the first one, where you had more options to play as the actual characters. You had like 3 options for each level or something like that. Anyway, I really like that because there's so many Transformers that I think are cool, and being able to have the option to play as them is always a great idea. So, and especially if you got an open world or something like that, that would be just the funnest. But yeah, this Soundwave looks kind of cool standing next to his toy version anyway. So now we get to compare the vehicle in the video game compared to the vehicle of the toy. And the vehicle in the video game looks pretty cool. In fact, I think Michael Bay should have looked at designs like this in the making of the Transformers, whatever movie Soundwave appeared in, and actually became something in the movie. But of course, as far as I'm concerned, they got Soundwave wrong, and they got so many Transformers wrong in the Michael Bay movies. And I know a lot of people like those. That's fine if you like them. But for me, there's just something that I didn't like about them. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. But this version of Soundwave in the vehicle form, I understand he's not going to be a cassette rolling down the road. So he's not going to be size changing and turning from a cassette player into this giant robot or whatever. But yeah, he's definitely got the yellow outline on the chest and on the hood here. So he's got that cassette player look to it. And I believe it does open up because there is going to be a laser beak at some point here, maybe in the video game. I don't know about for the toy, but anyway, this looks fairly the same in the vehicle form. And I like the vehicle. I think it's a kind of a cool looking vehicle. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the vehicle. And in the past, we had vehicles where Soundwave was actually like a vehicle, like a van or whatever. Like in Transformers Animated, I kind of liked him as the van in that, and it kind of fit for him, you know. And this does fit for him too. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And plus, it's like a Mad Max kind of end of the world scenario. So they're like turning into these like mud bogging vehicles that are going to go out off-roading or something like that. But yeah, this looks great to me. As well, actually the picture from the video game looks even better to me. I think that looks really cool looking, and just to see that as a Soundwave in the game. And it'd be kind of cool if he had like drones that came off of him and those were the cassettes instead of actual cassettes. But I imagine he's going to have some kind of cassette type of thing going on, obviously, because everyone wants him to have those things popping out of his chest. But yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. Okay, now speaking of cassettes, I figured I would throw this in the video because this was online when I was just Googling, Soundwave from the video game, from Reactivate and all that stuff. I Googled what he looks like in the video game and then figured out what he looks like, obviously to compare with the toy. So I figured I better put this in there because maybe they're going to have like a core class, like whatever, mini figures that will be for these sets, and maybe they'll actually release like two cassette type of things like this in a set. And if I'm looking at this and I just, if this is the actual final designs, this is a really cool looking Laserbeak. This is G1 all the way, but he looks like a movie version of G1 Laserbeak, which is, I mean, I'm not a fan of the movies, but when they look like they do in the actual cartoon, I'm a fan of that. I mean, the War for Cybertron and that the Cybertron battle in the Bumblebee movie and all that. I loved all that. So if this would fit right into that sequence in that movie. Actually, this looks exactly like something would have put into that scene. But I think this is cool looking. When he transforms, though, I don't know what that is. It looks like a record player with the lid, like the cover down, honestly, if you look at it, or a CD player or something. But anyway, whatever. It's what it is. It's something that goes inside of Soundwave's chest, I imagine. And if they made a toy of this, I imagine that they're going to do this in toy form, and that would be exactly what I said. Like his chest is probably going to open, and he's going to have like a cassette type of thing coming out of it. And this pretty much looks almost perfectly like Laserbeak. So I don't see. I mean, I'd like to see what they did with Ravage and Frenzy and Rumble in this, if they're actually in it or whatever. But yeah, this looks really really good for a design. I'm glad they're sticking to G1, but just making it a lot more believable and realistic. Okay, so now my overall thoughts on the toy in general. I think the weapons are a little too skimpy. I think they could have done better with these weapons. They're kind of small, and I think that they should be a lot bigger. Well, I don't know, the shoulder whatever weapon. I'm not sure what that's called, but that thing, I think that's okay. I think that'll be all right. I think it sticks up a little too high. I think it should go down a little bit more on it, closer to this his body. But his weapon in his hand, I think that should be bigger. It just seems a little small to me. I don't know. It's just maybe his arms are a little too skimpy or something. I just used to Soundwave being kind of boxy and bigger and squarer, like more bulky, I guess, in the arms and the legs. But whatever. It's a different design. I understand that. You're gonna get that. And the vehicle, I think, is perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with the vehicle at all. So that's kind of, I mean, this is a set of two. So I mean, this is the set right here. Okay, so the set is $62.99, and it's up for pre-order in this time period when I'm making this video. Things are going to change in the future, so I'm dating this video, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a set of two, so you get Optimus Prime with Soundwave. So yeah, I don't know. I think the price, I think they're trying to keep this double Voyager set down to a reasonable price, and I think $62.99 is okay. Obviously, the prices of Transformers nowadays have gone up so much that it's almost like trying to buy a masterpiece when you're in the regular store nowadays, because these things are just getting so expensive, and everything's so expensive that it's hard for us to want to collect when these things are just, the prices just keep, they're just so high for things. And then when the Transformer isn't the greatest when you get it in your hand, or there's something not very good about it, or some of them are not as posable as others or whatever, then you kind of get a little upset because you just paid so much money for this thing. But yeah, so overall, I think this is kind of cool that they're doing sets of Voyagers. I wish they would have done that with the Generations line a little bit more. I mean, I'm not made out of money or anything, but when it comes to certain things like the Insecticons, I wish they would have just had a 3-pack so I could just buy it at one shot and not have to try to kill myself to get each individual one. Or like the Dinobots, that would be an expensive set, obviously, because they're all leaders. But it'd be kind of nice to have that option. Now, I know that they like to release these sets later on as giant sets for like $300 or whatever on whatever Hasbro Pulse. But I just kind of think that some things make sense as sets and some things don't. So like I think they should do this Soundwave and have all his cassettes with him in a box. That would be a good idea instead of just having him with Prime. But whatever, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But anyway, that's pretty much everything I want to talk about in this. Just leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think. I don't know. I've kind of always been a fan of Soundwave. He's just one of my favorite Transformers of all time. I just always loved the cassette in the chest type of stuff. So it's just something I've always loved about Soundwave. But yeah, tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.